Yo, what's up everybody? I go by the name of Mr. Slapside. In today's video, we will be sharing or showing you guys how to edit in Sony Vegas. Sony Vegas, as you can see, I got my own gaming template that I created. Has 4 tracks: gameplay audio, gameplay video, vocals, and music audio. So I have those 4 tracks in there compiled. I have the correct volume levels and all that. And right now I'm just looking into my Call of Duty Vanguard video folder, and we're gonna dump it in there. We're gonna click properties, disable resample. That way there's no ghosting. I try to eliminate the ghosting. I don't know exactly what it does. There's probably people that know how to know exactly what it does that are more knowledgeable with this part of Sony Vegas, but I just know that it doesn't ghost as much, you know, like the video. That being said, right now we're just cutting out all the elements we don't need in this video, and we're gonna look for the first kill when this game really starts getting action. So I'm just going through it. I can see I die like multiple times. I die every 1 to 2 kills, so I don't want to share that with my viewers. I want to get to the action and show them where I really start grooving and go through the video and all that. So right now I'm gonna show this part. This is the part where I press the issue, where I really start getting aggressive, because I'm trying to get B flag. And this gameplay was really fun because in the game the other team was playing the objective heavily, and every time the enemy team plays the objective heavily, it goes in my favor because I am an objective player myself. And yeah, man, so what I'm gonna do is scrub through it and get to the part where I go to the domination B flag. And as you can see, as I mesh those 2 clips together, it turns pink. When you mesh it together, it turns pink, and that means that's a 1 second crossfade. See, as you can see, watch, mesh it, pink. See that little pink line? That is a 1 second crossfade. And as you can see, I pretty much cut the part where I die, and I mesh it to the part where I start getting a kill again. So I'm back in here in this area, and I'm taking B flag. And I gotta take out all these guys, take B flag, because like I said, these guys were playing the objective heavily, and it was just such a fun game to play. So in this game, I actually go 92 kills and like 5 deaths or something like that. So it was an amazing V2, man. This is not just some camper V2 spawn trapping. I was really moving differently in this particular game. So as you can see, I'm in their spawn, A flag spawn, trying to figure out where they're at. Oh, this guy gets me with a knife. He's probably going for atomic or something, right, guys? So as you can see, I'm gonna cut that area. We're gonna slice. You could actually press S on the keyboard, and we're gonna slice it up to the part where I get another kill after dying. That way we don't have to show all that dead space of just randomness, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna slice that, mesh it. Let's see how good it is. As I think I messed up though on that transition, or did I? Yeah, I guess it's pretty good. So right here we're gonna get a couple kills. We're trying to flip the spawn back to A flag, or I think C flag. Yeah, when you get into C flag, it's just a much more open area on the map where you can just maneuver the flanks a little better. So it's much better when you get them at C flag. So right now we're trying to get A and flip them, and as you can see, there's no action going on, so I'm gonna scrub through it, try to find where the first kill is. I think it's right there. So slice, mesh, and we get a crossplay. We get a crossfade right there, guys. Look at that. Make it seamless, you know, just make it simple, guys. You don't have to get all creative and fancy. There's a time for that. When you do montages, when you do a video montage with the music and all that, a lot of people don't understand this, but a montage with music, you have to make sure the video is riding the beat. It has to be in sync with the beat, you know what I mean? You got to match the beat and make it that dramatic, you know? So that's why people, when they watch these sniper videos, montage videos, you get so emotional, you get into it, because it's like you're listening to the music, but the visuals ride the beat, just like a music video. So a lot of people don't know that, but I will be making a video on how to create a great montage video edited. Me personally, I'm still working on my effects. I feel like I could be a lot better on or with editing effects in Sony Vegas. So you will see me grow as an editor, and I just want to help people out there with the general principles of just editing, because I have a part-time job where I edit a lot, you know. It's just down the street. It's a skydive center. I'm real cool with the owner, and yeah, man, I just edit all their videos, you know, all the GoPro videos. You know, they give me the GoPro cards, and then I can just edit it, and I can edit like super fast. I edit videos like in 5 minutes, but the computers there suck. I wish I could just build a new computer and just be like, hey man, use this computer, like let's get a new computer already. Because the computers there are Dell computers with i5, and it's just like, come on. But that's a story for another time. As you can see this video, now that you know the general, or just the just the main basic principles of editing, it's just pretty much slicing and crossfading stuff. I just want to talk a little bit about myself, like, how did I get into editing? How did I get into computers? A lot of people don't know this, but my computer experience goes all the way back, man, to the 90s. My dad bought this computer from Radio Shack. It had the printer and keyboard, it just pretty much the basic computer with no online features. This was in the 90s, 95 maybe, and he was using it for just typing. And for me, all I could do was play solitaire on it and Minesweeper. So during the 90s, that's when the first PlayStation came out. So I got the PlayStation. With me and gaming, like, why am I gaming and why do I like gaming? I mean, it was crazy, man. It was actually my aunt. She was playing Mario, and she was a beast. Like, she was a beast on Mario, like the first Mario on that Super Nintendo, on the first Nintendo. She was just moving. She was moving different, through the map, not the map, but the levels. She was just moving with it. I was like, wow, you're really good at this. And I was like, I played Duck, the Duck Hunt. And after that, I got my first my Sega Genesis. And, I had Sonic and all that. So I was a Sega guy. I grew up on the Sega. But the thing with Sega, they didn't know how to, like, work with other companies. It seemed like they were just trying to compete too hard. Like, they could never take out Nintendo. They should just been cool with Nintendo, but they had a problem. They had an issue with selling games. They had great games, but there was just an issue. They couldn't sell enough consoles, and Sega would just always fall off. But I was always a sucker for it. I bought the Sega Dreamcast and all that, And I never had an N64, but all my cousins had an N64. I was a PlayStation guy. So me being a PlayStation guy, I was like, yeah, I got the CD-ROM. What's up? I got the PlayStation. That was revolutionary. You know what I mean? Like, Sony was the first to have the CD. Like the CD-ROM. Well, that's not true actually. There was this thing called Sega something. It was like a Sega Genesis, and it was like a attachment or whatever, and it had a CD-ROM, but it was still new. And when the CD-ROM came out, that's PlayStation was able to really, really do it. You know what I mean? Like, they really did it. So it was revolutionary, man. Once everything went CD-ROM, because Nintendo 64 was the last, like, best cartridge. After that, you remember we had the GameCube with those small disc. They started doing that, and the N64 was amazing, man. Like, every game on the N64 was amazing, man. Like Star Fox, what was it? Star Wars. It was just amazing, man. Like, those were the days. But all that being said, I'm gonna go back to my background with PCs. So, like, yeah, it was in the 90s. My dad was in college. We were living in a garage in my aunt's house. It was tough, man. We just moved. We had a house. So we lived in Atlanta, and we had to start over. It was hard to just, like, get a new house. You know what I mean? Like, it was just hard in those days, man. Like, and it's still hard today. So we were living with our aunt in a garage, and everything was rough. Childhood was rough a little bit because they got separated. Mother wasn't happy no more because we were living in a garage, right? So marriage had to end, but they stayed separated. They still took care of us, and I have good parents, for sure. They made it work, but it was a lot of confusion. Like, I was the only one in my family that had that situation, with separation and all that. So as a adolescent growing up, I was confused for sure, and it was among, as many other things on my mind that, I was just mad about in the world and all that. But I had my family with me. I had a good family, raised up with my cousins, and yeah, man, there was this day. I remember it, man, clearly. So my uncle, he was pretty much like helping, caretaking, kind of taking care of the house, or actually a mansion of this really rich guy from Saudi Arabia, owns some oil stuff in Saudi Arabia. So he has a bunch of houses. He has this beautiful mansion, and we used to sleep there sometimes. And these guys, whenever they would get a new computer or whatever, they had the top of the line shit, right? He gave his IBM computer to my cousin, and that was when I was like, wow, that's amazing. You know what I mean? Like, that IBM tower. If you had an IBM in the 90s, bro, like, it was crazy. We had AOL. We used the 56K dial-up modem, and that was cool, man. That whole AOL time, that was an amazing time. That was like the boom. That was the first social media when you think about it. we had AOL, you've got mail, you know what I mean? ASL, you had to like talk to people on there, and it was crazy because when you would meet up with people, you'd be like, all right, let's meet up at like this city or whatever, and then you would just page them on the beeper or whatever, and it was different. You had to be brave, but people were cool. They used to meet up and all that on the AOL, and yeah, man, with that 56K modem, it was crazy because that IBM had some pretty cool games. Had this pinball machine, and what's crazy, I never really learned how to play Solitaire or Minesweeper until way later. They showed me how to play it, like my older cousins, and yeah, sure enough, time went on. A couple years later, I went into high school, and my dad hooked it up. I was like, I really need a computer. I'm just, there's something drawing me to it. Like for me, audio and computers is something that I'm drawn to. Like back in the days, my dad taught me how to like hook up all these stereo equipment, like pretty much surround systems. So I was already working with fiber optic wires back in the 90s, man. That's crazy, right? Like fiber optic is what we use now. Like that's the top of the line for internet. So just imagine back then I was already working with fiber optic cables, like for audio, like DTS and all that, like digital sound. Yeah, that little laser fiber optic cable. Yeah, that shit, that's like really good sound. And so I was hooking up all his shit. He would make me like hook up all the audio components because I was small. I'd get behind the TV and just hook up the red and white cable, the RCA cables and all that. So I learned how to do all that audio shit, man. And like till today, man, I love audio now, man. Like I'm an audio fiend, Like that's why I got into music pretty much, and engineering, audio engineering, because I just love it. Like right now, I'm gonna show you guys a lot of like content, man. Like just how to like hook up like audio stuff for your PC and all that. So this is just the beginning. I mean, this video is obviously just about editing a video, just the basic principles of how to edit a video. I mean, it's very simple. If you have Sony Vegas, like just do this, and I'll show you guys how to color grade and all that. Obviously, there's a lot of other videos out there on YouTube, but I just want to be part of the community and share what I can. I want to see what I could bring to the table, and maybe someone could vibe on my level and learn something, because there's a lot of other people out there that are probably better than me or whatever, but I like creating content. And yeah, man, like I said, in high school, I got the compact Presario. It was like freaking like $1,200, man. Big box, pre-built computer. I think it had like, I don't even know what it had. I think it was like a freaking Intel Celeron or something like that. It was so weak, but it was amazing, man. Like had the big computer screen. Oh man, like, and then in those days, that's when DSL came out. And I was like, I need DSL. Like that's when DSL just hit the market, and DSL was so fast, man. I was downloading all these, all this stuff, all this music from Kazaa. What was it? WinMX. It was LimeWire. LimeWire was, man. I mean, a lot of you guys I don't know what generation you're from, but like, you probably don't even know what I'm talking about. But yeah, man, that's the reason why I know so much about computers. And with that computer, it was crazy, man. I actually messed up someone's computer. I added some RAM, some memory, and I burned this shit out. His motherboard got fried, so I had to pull out all the components out my Presario and then put it inside his computer, his case. And I tricked him, I said, oh yeah, I fixed it, bro. But really, I just gave him my components because I was not trying to pay for that shit. I wasn't trying to pay for his computer. So then that day I said, you know what? I'm building my own computer. And I started doing a little research on forums. And I went to the store one day. There was a magazine. It was like a PC World magazine or something like that at the military store. And I was like, hey, Dad, I need this magazine, man. And he was like, yeah, go ahead. And then I got the magazine, and it taught me how to build a computer. It would show you all the components. And that's how I learned, man, off a magazine, man. Like I used to read, you gotta read back then, man. Nowadays, you just watch a YouTube video on Google or whatever, and you can figure out whatever you want, man. It's a lot easier, man, to do things nowadays. So I come from the old times of the PC era. So I didn't learn all this shit overnight. You know what I mean? Don't think I just learned this overnight. You know what I mean? All this information that I learned, this is all experience. So that's why I want to share it with you guys. And it's your boy, Mr. Slapside. We're coming out with a lot of content, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're feeling the content. A lot more stuff will be coming out. Peace.